Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Astrology and Beyond by Tatiana, also broadcasting for ANN, Archetypal News Network. And today I will bring you the astro weather for the second half of August. And this video might be a little bit very loaded because it's so much information. The stars are up there doing their thing. There is a lot of movement happening. It's loaded. This month is loaded. So I might actually do this video in two parts so that you can easily digest it and also sit with the information and take advantage of these fabulous transits, which are not necessarily the easiest. However, there is such a big evolutionary push to go into a space of thriving that can be beyond what we could imagine. We just need to keep at it, be realistic, be here on earth, love what we're doing, do what we love, and not give up. I think this is the key word that's coming to me through this month of August is don't give up. No matter what is, what your situation is, what is coming at you, even your own internal beliefs, even anything that comes from you or from outside of you that may seem discouraging or difficult or like a little bit of a mountain to climb, don't give up, because there is so much energy to keep going. And usually distractions and avoidance and defeat mentality is what doesn't get us to the wonderful reward, the prize, the magnificent prize of soul that is just around the corner, literally. So keep at it. Keep believing in yourself no matter what. It's going to get better. However, we definitely need to stay very present and do what we need to do. We are on Earth, and this is part of the energy of this month. And these two last weeks of August have a little bit of different energies to them. That's why I'm going to spend a little bit of time making a difference of the feel of what will be occurring. So let's share the screen to see our presentation for the month. So voila, this is a loaded month. You see, like there is so much going on, so dynamic, like the sky is crazy. And look, our overview for the month has us with a new moon in Leo, the sun entering Virgo, Mercury retrograding, Mars changing signs in Libra, Uranus retrograding, and a blue moon in Pisces. By the way, blue moons is when you have two full moons in 1 month. So we will have a blue moon in Pisces. I don't know if it's going to be literally blue. I hope not. Anyway, so you see what I mean by there's a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. And okay, so today, August 15th, as you can see, the energy of the Leo stellium that we have been discussing is still very, very, very active. And this energy is all about self, connection to heart. So if you didn't watch my video from last week, this is a continuation of that energy. We have been working through finding something in ourselves that is true to ourselves, that is true to our heart, that is true to our self-expression. If you're a Leo, good for you, because you're probably really relishing in your power, in your essence. This energy is inviting us to really step up to our gifts, to our self-expression. Let's remember also that the shadow of Leo is thinking we're way too special for everybody else. And it's that little bit of a diva quality that can say, well, I'm so special Please, everybody, look at me. I am here. I'm the best. I'm special. I'm super special. Yes, of course, we're all special. Everybody is special. And that's why everybody's special. So, what's very important is that you recognize that your specialty is what you offer to the world. And this is the energy we're still working with through the first this first next week. And it can be a very connective energy. You might want to be offering your gifts, showing to the world who you are authentically, connecting with people. We are coming a little bit subsiding. This square of Venus to Uranus is starting to subside. So maybe that restlessness and that desire to just break free and try new things and be bold and just like, I'm fed up with the old thing. Let's try new things. Like, let's go crazy. Let's try new relationships, like break up. Like, whoa, that energy that can be a little bit restless. Like, okay, I'm done with this. Let's go and see what's new here. That energy. And if you have anything happen to you in the past 2 weeks where you have felt like this need to re-evaluate or break free from some stagnant relational issues, usually with Venus Uranus, there's like, it's about relationships, it's about what we love. Maybe you're not connected to pleasure the way you want, so you might just go crazy and try something new out of a little bit of a rebellious streak to try something that that is completely out of the ordinary. Or you might have met people that are very unconventional. Again, this is just an attempt to shake up stagnant values, and usually when relationships are kind of in a rut, this shakes them up. So I'm curious to hear how you have been feeling, especially if you have not been valued and seen as who you are in relationship to people. And relationship to people can be anything from your spouses, your lovers, your boyfriends, girlfriends, your close relationships with women. It could also be your relationship to money, anything that has felt stagnant and that you have not been really valued and seen might be up for some kind of like, okay, you don't see me, I'm here, fed up, go. So this is kind of the energy we're emerging from, this energy of I need to be seen for who I am. And that could have brought up a lot of disruption in relationships, even some distance sometimes. With Uranus, the idea of breaking free can create distance. And again, this too shall pass. So this is why through these transits it's important to not act out of a restless place and just throw everything away. It's good to have a balanced approach about them. So because this energy, especially including Lilith and the sun that we talked about also last week, where this can be a very deep need to cry out who you are. That fed upness can come with some anger, can come with just a desire to, I wouldn't say destroy per se, but it's like an energy that it's ready to blow something up so that something new can emerge. And there is the value to this is really seeing that everything you recognize about yourself as truly valuable because it's who you are and not who others have told you to be. That's the little seed we're going to be planting in the grounds of the new moon in Leo. And that is tomorrow. So let's look at the new moon in Leo. And I would definitely recommend that through this new moon in Leo, you do some kind of ritual of planting who you truly are, what you truly love, and what you value in the ground. Maybe you do a little write up of, this is what I really connect to. I remember when, I don't know, when I dance, I am so happy. I don't know, I vibrate, and I love doing that. Oh, when I paint, I love that. When I cook, I love that. When I ride motorcycles, that's what I love. And so connecting back to those places in you that are really connected to enjoyment of your expression is what we want to plant, because that seed that we're planting at the new moon will begin to flourish throughout the next 6 months. And that has to come with a true realization of authenticity. And this is where we need to get super crystal clear around why we do what we do. The thing with this new moon and why is it's so powerful, it's because, as you can see, there is this powerful square to the sun and Uranus. And at the same time, we're having the energy of the Mars and Mercury in Virgo, trying to organize, get everything in order, plan, and strategize. And it's aided by Uranus, so we can have structures that in the long run will give you more freedom to be who you truly are. And this is not without effort and some work on the part of the grounding of the earth element, of the, here's the opportunity, here's the idea, now you gotta go and do it. It's not just by dreaming it, because that's of the Pisces realm, and we will talk about that a little bit later. It's about dreaming it and truly rolling up your sleeves, following the step-by-step methodical guide to your soul's desires. This is what this energy is about. And in the new moon, if you can really get super clear about those soul's desires and plant them in the ground, you might start seeing that energy that you're intending will blossom. The other portion that is important with this energy is not to get too obsessed on the how, because this is when it can get complicated between the Virgo energy and the Pisces energy. Neptune, as we will see a little bit later in the month, we will have this opposition of Mars to Neptune a little bit later on. And it's about trusting that you don't have to effort everything and control and micromanage every single aspect of how the unfoldment of you is going to happen. You focus on being you, on connecting to that joy, and on doing the inspirational day-by-day thing that comes in your awareness. It might come through a flash of inspiration sometimes, especially because this Mars-Uranus has Mercury in the mix. You see, when we have Mercury connected to Uranus, there's this higher mind telling you literally, this is the genius idea. Go for this. How about this? When you feel like blocked and you're like, I don't know. Well, through these transits, you must just be taking a shower and then suddenly, oh my God, the brilliant idea, the bulb just lights up and you're like, this is how I could do this. And then you have a pathway. And the pathway is actually possible because with the grounded earth energy, there is actual possibility. Oh, well, you know that there is that person who said something, an idea maybe, or an idea that came to you, you know exactly where to go and get it. You know how to do it. Now the only ask is go do it. That's the only ask. The other ask of the Virgo energy is to really get organized, because then you can have a strategic plan. Now, the opposition to Neptune is going to ask us to trust that getting into the obsessive Virgo energy of everything has to be perfect before doing it. And if it's not perfect, and if it's not all planned to the little T, to the little detail, to the last little teeny weeny thing, then it won't happen. That's what we don't want. go into paralysis by analysis. Oh yeah, but what if that happens? And what if that variable 55.7, variable 90.8? That might not work. And that's how Mercury in Virgo functions. It wants to know everything and every detail of everything in order to make sense of reality. That is the way of why how Mercury functions in Virgo, especially for natives like me with Mercury in Virgo. Oh my gosh, Excel sheets and trying to map everything into an Excel sheet so I can understand it. It's vital. The issue is that reality is way too vast, and this is the Neptune component. It's way too vast to put into a little computer. Let's imagine something. You're a computer, with, I don't know, some decent amount of RAM and memory and computing capacities. And you want to put the information of a whole freaking universe in that computer. Well, what's going to happen to that computer? It's going to be on a little wheel forever, trying to process, and it can't process. Then you'll need like a super quantum computer. And even then, the information of the universe, which is Neptune, can't process that. So for our analogy, this is exactly what I'm saying, is if you try to process all the information that the divine is trying to send you, and that you don't have to micromanage every single detail of how it's going to play out, when you allow that you just do the next step, and that's it. You only focus on that and you do it well, because a Virgo is about doing things well, about doing them with sense. This is going towards where I want to go. If you get too distracted and doing things that are not going to serve this purpose, what will happen most likely, and that will be after the 18th when Mercury starts going retrograde, is that things that are really useless and they're getting obsessed on are going to be probably removed. And it's like, okay, focus back on track. So with this being said, remember, just trust the next step. That's it, the next step, the one thing you're doing, and that's it. Let the universe, let Neptune, let the cosmos guide the next few steps. All you have to do is be connected to the joy that that step is giving you. And that would be, I would think, the recipe for success. And yes, this is an enormous time of change. We are in times of change at a humanity level, and staying too stuck in the non-mutable energy, especially for people with a lot of fixity, and too stuck in your own ways, is not going to be helpful for the next level of you. There is a you around the corner that is really wanting to thrive, but if you're still stuck to an old version of you, then you might not see the gift in what that new connection to self is bringing. So this new moon is loaded with that energy. And I think I sidetrack a little bit because I wanted to talk about the sun square Uranus. And the sun square Uranus can also be, look at me and I'm doing this no matter what. This is my essence and I am different. And I feel like it can feel that you want to break out from some kind of stereotype or identification with that it's no longer you. So on a positive sense, that is great, because that's the point of this. On a more negative sense, what could happen is that then you become a rebel without cause, just for the sake of it. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just, and there's no plan about it. There's just rebellion and how can I put this? The sun wants to shine, okay? It doesn't want to shine. The sun shines, period. Unless there's an eclipse where the sun is blocked, the sun is always shining. So your essence is always shining. With Uranus, it's like giving it like a it's like a massive like explosion of energy about yourself. So this can also equate a little bit to a self-aggrandizement that is maybe more prominent with Jupiter, but Uranus gives us this shakeup, this come on, free yourself from whatever have been limiting yourself. So this square is very, very helpful for finding that courage and the ability to actually do something about it. Now, I would caution us into let me find Sun Uranus that I want to read. So we have the Sun Uranus from the Archetypal Universe by Ren Butler. Our Sun Uranus. Sun Uranus. Here it is. Sun Uranus. Hear this, because this is where we don't want to go to. Manic self-celebration, willful and erratic behavior, excessive urges for independence, and inability to cooperate or compromise with others. There, I've said it. Why? Because this energy can be completely like, I just want to do my own thing, especially because the North Node is in Aries. And guess what? This North Node is trining Lilith. And this energy can be very powerful. I want to be me, and I don't care if I have to do whatever it takes to not let anybody tell me who I should be. I've said it. That's it. Bam. And that's sometimes could be positive if you need to break out of toxic situations, but it also can be destructive if you have very loving relationships and good situations in your lives, but temporarily you're feeling this urge. So the idea here is to temper that urge. Maybe wait before you make those moves that could be too radical. Give them a second thought, or give them a little weight. And you just keep doing you. Advance slowly into that new version of you before completely letting off the hook. You know, this is the time where you can actually be burning bridges, because you just can't take anymore. Can't take it anymore. So burning bridges, it's not what we want. What we want is to build healthier bridges, all the while staying super true to ourselves. That's what we want. So however that looks in your life, whatever it takes to get there, do that. That's what I would recommend. This is why we're reading the sky. So this new moon carries a seed of that, a seed of me, a seed of who I am, and give it some love of I will move towards my purpose, my passion, and I will cooperate with others and acknowledge their purpose, their passion, and see what we can create together. This is what the energy will help to create something even bigger, is when we each realize that it's not just being I'm seeing this image of the lonely hunter just separating from the tribe and eventually getting eaten by the wolves or something, or like the lone wolf just leaving the tribe. And so it's about still being connected to the tribe, still being held by the tribe, and doing things with the tribe, and knowing also when to take some healthy space for yourself. That is the other aspect about this very important new moon, is to recognize when you're too peopled out, don't keep pushing it. Very gently remove yourself so you can recharge. I think this is a time where if we have not been recharging by ourselves, the energy just gets too much, and that's when we actually want to break free, because there has not been any time to recharge. So the thing to do would be to know during your, work days, your alignments with people, when you have to be with many people or do things with others, take little breaks by yourself. Take a little walk by yourself. Don't be afraid to tell your dear ones, I would like to take a little time by myself and just go for a walk. And then you might have somebody go, yes, but yada yada. And then you kind of go, okay, well, I won't do it. Or, oh, I want to come with you. No. You just say, no, I really need this time for myself. And I appreciate that. It's only an hour. And that's it. Poof, you go do that, you recharge. And that way, when you come back to work with people, you're not peopled out, you're not overwhelmed. And most importantly, you're not like, like spiky, lashing out, short temper, because the energy of fire that is also very prominent with this Leo, especially with Lilith there too, could be short. Could be like, a little bit, a little bit short. So, that's something that I wanted to mention for this new moon that is loaded. Now let's move on to another a very important day of the month. This is when we're going to start having Mercury retrograding. And this particular retrograde, so Mercury is stationing on August 23rd, and it's conjunct Mars. So what happens here is that the energy of Virgo gets mega amplified. That energy of structuring, planning, detailing, perfecting, that gets amplified. In a very positive sense, use this energy to move, not to move things along, because Mercury is going to start retrograding, but to see where you're at. See what has been created, what you have been working towards. So my suggestion would be that up to probably the 19th of August, move, keep trying, keep planning, keep doing, keep organizing, keep sketching, sketch. This is a time to make the sketches of your life. And it's interesting because I'm working in a theater play, and we are creating all our sketch, which is what's the story, how the characters are interacting. We're just sketching. So this is the time to sketch it well. When Mercury starts going retrograde, and we'll have so many planets retrograding, that's the time where you start filling in that sketch. So you don't do new things, you don't embark in new endeavors, in new projects, in a new business, in another thing. You don't get distracted. You stop. You stop and see, okay, what did I embark on? What was the new things that I did up to the 18th, 19th? What have I done? Let's look back. And through that Mercury retrograde in Virgo, for the next 3 weeks, you're going to start polishing, perfecting, reevaluating, changing what needs to be changed, releasing and removing what is cluttering. So this is a fabulous time for decluttering the mess in your life, in your computer, in your projects, in your relationships, in wherever. And most important also, where is the Virgo house in your chart? Look at where Virgo, especially this 21 to, well, maybe let's say I would say from the 18th degree to the 29th degree, because Mercury's at 21, Mars is at 27, even though it's a loose conjunction, but it's a conjunction. That chunk of your chart is going to get very activated, and that is the area of life that you want to be organizing, that you want to be revamping, revisiting, and giving it a new this is where you want to hone skills, to get better at, to improve. These are all Virgo words. And if you're very distracted with other things, then you end up with more mess later. It's very interesting because today, I don't know, out of the blue, I'm taking a shower and I drew these lines with dots, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually like a hexagram. I don't know where that came from, but I then went to look at it just because I just don't know, it just came. And that's kind of how usually the genius mind, Uranus to Mercury, how it works. It just sends you things and you just go, oh. So I looked at the hexagram 63, and it was the completion of something that leaves a lot of mess in the end, that there's disorganization, and that this mess, because something is big, it has been created, it's messy at the end, there's too much of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so on point with what I know I need to align with, is everything I've created. It's been so much on my plate that everything is messy, because I just now need to start cleaning up with little brush. That's for me, and that's specifically for me because I do have many Virgo planets. So I'm speaking from a Virgo perspective, and I feel that it's very useful when you know your own energy, because that's when you can help others that may be struggling. Like, so if you're a Virgo, you might, or you have planets in Virgo, you might be like in a good role because it's natural to you. It's like a natural energy. Like, yes, we're in a role, we're getting things done, things are effective, you're seeing finally things organizing. What could be the danger is falling into the obsessive thinking about all the things that need to be finished right now, right away, and it's too much. Again, the too muchness of organizing the whole world can end up in a little wheel. So you don't want to go into that excessive thinking, overthinking, overanalyzing, because it could really, really be detrimental. So let's just not go there. Now, the other thing that's happening here is that we're going to have Venus squaring Jupiter, and this is when we have that opposition to Uranus of Mars to Neptune that I talked about. And at the same time, we're starting to have this kind of, well, loose grand trine, Earth trine with Pluto retrograding. And this is when things in your reality will really start shifting if you put in that effort. You see, this month of August is key to getting things done, or even to get a new skill, or even to perfect something. During all the retrogrades, I would say just do things that just perfect things. That's all I have to say. Perfect things that you have started. Otherwise, you just might be adding more to the mess and more to the overwhelm. There's also going to be a feeling. There might be a feeling that you have the world on your shoulders. And this is because the sun entering Virgo through this week is going to be opposing Saturn in Pisces. And this is where you have to keep your feet on the ground. Why? Because yes, you can dream of something, you can dream of spirit, you can be out there picking up all this dreamland, yeah, right? And trying to make dreams come true. But this is not the time to just dream that you're going to win the lottery and it's going to happen and everything's going to happen out of your dreaming, and then everything just resolves itself because that's what it is. And then you go into escapism and then overindulgence, because with Venus square in Jupiter, we might end up just like escapism, overeating, overindulging, just getting a little bit lazy, because you see that there's so much work to be done, that getting what you want is not that easy, and that's Saturn. getting to be you, who you want to be in the world, requires a lot of effort. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. I'm just not gonna do this. I'm gonna just go watch Netflix and eat popcorn, and whatever, life will resolve itself, because it always does. Magic, 1, 2, 3, puff. No, not this time around. Not this time. This is why at the beginning of the video I said, hang on, because things might seem that they're slow, that they're a bit difficult. You want to be who you are, you want to really be yourself in the world, and it might still feel like it's difficult, that it's not that fluid, that you have to make your way to exist, and that will require effort and require something that's real, tangible. It's not in the ethers, it's here. It requires discipline. Now, another word for Virgo is discipline. Discipline and structure and a method, that's Virgo. And with Saturn opposing the Virgo, well, the whole Virgo house, because Saturn in Pisces is requiring some kind of discipline also with your so obviously habits. You need to form habits and have discipline with those habits, and also like doing meditation, like spiritual discipline, I will call it. That's what I want. That's the word I was looking for. With Saturn in Pisces, there's some kind of spiritual discipline. There's some kind of like, yes, we can dream the quantum realities, shift everything, and you might like be like a Shaolin monk. Saturn in Pisces to me is like, those Shaolin monks that, chop wood, carry water, and then hit yourself until the pain is gone, and then master the mind so you can fly and levitate and all that stuff, which requires immense amount of work and discipline and focus into the ethers, into yourself, into all of that stuff, right? Obviously, that is a little bit extreme. I'm not saying we should all be Shaolin monks, but what I'm saying is like, in order to bridge the gap between heaven, which is the Neptunian realms, the Piscean realms, and Earth, we do need to carry water and chop wood, basically. And now the invitation for this is because as the Leo energy subsides a little bit, and still Venus is retrograding, so you will still be feeling into what you love, and there's also Juno in Leo, so there's something about the feminine, the yin, the what you love, what your passion calls. But after Leo comes the skill, and that's the Virgo. You just don't get it just because. You do need to get some kind of skill at it. And the last thing I wanted to add about that is like, you get the skills in as you're doing it. So don't wait for everything in your ideal dream to be ready. Just start with the first thing, and you will gather the skills as you go. And that's part of the Virgo. That's why this energy helps you to understand, oh, so this is how you do that. Oh, so that's where I find this. Oh, this is the course I need in order to get this. Okay. Oh, that's how to do. And you ground it and you do it. It's about action. It's about doing, not thinking. This period is about doing, not thinking. Do, and try as best as you can to do, knowing that the discipline that you're going to put into this time of your life will pay off. This is the most important advice I can give you, is the discipline you put in this moment in time will pay off. So that is that about this time. I think I am going to stop our video here, and I will post another video next week to talk about the end of the month and our full moon in Pisces, and with, so I just lost my train of thought. So I can talk about the full moon in Pisces and the energy that will be coming that last part of the month. and we will revisit this a little bit so we can talk about what's been going on for you and if you are really working towards your projects. And we will talk more about the retrogrades as well and what a period full of retrogrades really means for us. So I'm going to leave you here. I love you very much. Oh, look, I have a beautiful rainbow. May you be well and get to work. Get to work. It's fun. It's fun. Loving yourself. Love what you do. Do what you love. Recipe for success. I love you.